And hello again, everybody. I am back with another episode of Shapes.io. As always, I'm Tyler, and we're going to try and make some progress today. Hopefully by the end of this video, we will be really close to having this stuff taken care of. Obviously, this rate's kind of lower than what I want it to be, but it's fine. It can give us plenty of time to kind of work on maybe some other things that we might want to do and prepare for this next leg of the journey. So, as always, hopefully everyone is doing well today. This might actually be a great opportunity to do some testing. So, you know what? Let's see. So let's go ahead and set up some production. We know that this will be more than enough to fulfill any belt 100%, or at least that we have available right now, 100%. So, because what they're doing 4 items a second, so we only need 5 to keep up with the belt, and this is a lot more than 5. Which actually is a good note to keep down for later, because you know, once we start really going for the best efficiency, we can kind of create some interesting setups and maximize how we're using our spaces here. Because we're gonna need obviously quite a bit of all of this. So so conveyor belt does 20 a second. We can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we can get 4 belts of production just from this grouping right here, which then means that we could, you know, do the whole balancer song and dance. And actually, no, I'm just going to steal it from right here and come back on over here, and there we go. So let's actually go ahead and set this up to be 4 different groups of things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then maybe we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll do that one on there. 2, 3, 4. We'll do 5, and then 1, 2, 3. We want that actually going down there. So we'll do that. So you go there, you will go there. You will go like that, and you will go like that. So there we go. Let's go ahead and clean this up. Go ahead and make sure, you know, we just have as little belts as possible. Not really too much I can do about that situation other than this, but okay. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and extend this out a bit, and we will hook all of these up at once. And okay, so as you see, pretty good. There's only a slight delay just because, you know, it's being split and then it's still moving, but once it's there, fully saturated. So if we pull off, the technique that I've been using so far is this. So it comes off like that, and then it goes from there, and it's gonna pull from this lane, come up here, and then, you know, get used. So what if we throw a trash can there? So that's always moving. And then we can expand and do another split off. Now we can see when both are fully going through. And then we can maybe do another one like that. So what I think we might have to adjust for is how we're splitting up, because obviously, you know, we're making plenty of this, but I'm not quite certain about how we can actually fix the problem of only our last one getting the full saturation while everything else is kind of just running at probably half, I would assume. Actually, what if we put that there? Okay, yeah, so that's roughly 10 a second, while this is 20 a second. Yep, okay. So if we know that, and we know that we can split 10 off a second, we can then adapt the rest of our setup to go from there. So say that I wanted to cut, I could run 2 cutters off of each line that I'm pulling off. And then I could do that as many times as I wanted, because we will, as long as we're keeping up production, we can keep doing that. So what if we do this? We'll go ahead and do that, and we'll split off like that. And I want to cut here. And then we will I'm not 100% sure what I want to do, because, you know, obviously if we're going to cut squares for, you know, our new shape, we're going to want to do the corners, and that'll be better to do with this one, which actually, if I did that right, we have enough space. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, and then let's see here. So this is top right, bottom left, top left. So it goes in the top right, and then it does clockwise direction. So we want to so we want this to rotate that way. So these both will be the top right, and then if we want this to be bottom left, that rotates that way too. And then we just recombine, and we can do whatever. And all we gotta do is just bring this up like that. This comes over here, and we split again. And there we go. And then we can just repeat this setup for, I guess, pretty much as many rows as we want, and we'll always have it saturated properly, to my understanding. Because like I said, from using the storage, it looks like it just does Sorry, I'm a little tired, but like I said, so just from testing with these storage outputs, our last one's always going to run at double speed from what our first ones do, not just because something with how I'm balancing things currently. So there might be a better setup for that, but I've got 2 options of either being able to just mess around with how we do things, or I was like, I can either adjust how these work with this, and then even if this last one's getting overfilled, that's fine. That's not going to be the end of the world. And if I actually do keep it up to this, I could, I think in theory, push this through here and this through here. And, oops. What we can do is then combine further both rows of production, and then we can just push both on forward to wherever we need them. So what if we actually, well, it's stores, you think? No, just stores whatever could come first. So we'll do 2 trash cans and just kind of see how this goes. Because obviously we're always going to be running half saturation with maximum output. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and extend this out just a little bit, just so we can see how many we're actually pushing through, because this might actually work totally fine with our limitations, or at least with my limitations and how I can think. But yeah, so I think this is an interesting setup, because this pretty much is running at full saturation for one belt, and then, you know, we could do this as many times as we want, I believe. So let's go ahead and copy. We'll paste you over top, paste you over top, and we'll see. Yeah, so it's like, I think the only issue with this one is this one just kind of got desynced somehow, but yeah, so we should be able to do this as many times as we can keep this production up. So what if we actually just copy and paste it like that? And so, you know, it took just a moment for that to catch up. We need this and this here, because those didn't copy over quite right. And yeah, interesting. Okay, so I mean, that's, you know, we should be able to see how many of these we're producing pretty easily. So, you know, we're making top right and bottom left, we're making 6,500 every minute, which is not bad, not gonna lie. Now, how do we use this to make a setup better? Not 100% certain. I know, at least, like I said, in principle, we can support up to half of what our splitter speed is, or balancer speed, or so, you know, because it says that should be 40 items a second. So I think, like I said, it comes down to, since this row's always moving, this is going to be half of what a belt can support, because it's constantly being either pushed through here or pushed through there. Because if our belts move only at 20 items a second, our splitters in theory should be keeping both fully saturated regardless of how this is moving. I think. Like I said, I don't really know, but so yeah, so if I just keep it as a note where I can support half of what I can do on a belt, then we should be good. Which, actually, speaking of, I'm going to write that down. because like I said, I want to actually make my setups better. And I've got no shortage of notebooks to be able to write in, so let's see here. So we've got, so our main note for right now is so if we split off, we can support half of what belts run. And so that seems kind of like a basic rule, at least with, like I said, how this is set up currently. And I actually would be interested to see if there's a way to, you know, create more input on a belt, or if I just need to create a new separate grouping of 4. Let's see here. So what if we do... So we'll just come over here and we'll do it after it balances. And then we can split like that. And yeah, so I don't think it makes too big of a difference from there. But I would be interested to see if, you know, like I said, we were taking a lot more off of the belt. But yeah, we'll have to see. It'll take a little bit of messing around with, but right now, literally everything's running at peak performance. And let's see, what would happen if we... What happens if we double it again? So, you know, it takes a couple moments to catch up, and then end one works totally fine. This one's caught up. Actually, what if we even just only focus on just the 4 full production for right now? That way nothing slows down. And so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all based on just the 4 belts. And so 3 are staying fully supported, and the rest are running a little bit slow. But you know, we're actually still producing more, even though they're not running at full efficiency, which is very weird, honestly. At least in my opinion, because, you know, you wouldn't think it would work like that, but yeah, so this was where we had before it, and then we doubled it, but there's diminishing returns because we were at 6,000 with 6, and then we went up to 8,000 with 12. So obviously there's some sort of sweet spot that can happen, and now we're just not producing enough to keep up with what these are taking on. And I will say I did notice that this one is done, so all that's left is the last little bit for this shape, which, you know, will probably be finished finished during the next episode. So what I wonder is, what if we just connect you up there? So obviously this is going to stay fully saturated, and then this will push through more over here. And if we can push more into this first series of belts, then that might actually help us out a little bit. So what if we do another production line? 2, 3, 4, 5. And we will go ahead and I'm trying to think about what the best way to do this would be. What if we need to come over there? And do that. So obviously at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that our main throttle is just always going to be our splitters. But now, what if instead of doing that, I did it further back in the process? So then we can maybe do it halfway through, and maybe if we get this to back up enough over here, it'll push more over there. And then we can start seeing some more production over here, which, okay, so I mean, we added on those two lines and now we're at 10,000, or actually, I think it's 10.9. Yeah, so we're at 11,000, which is almost full production that we can get out of these if, you know, they're doing 5 items a second. And yeah, because obviously it was like we figured out that at most we can deliver to the hub is 12,000, or sorry, not 1,000 a minute for one belt. But so, you know, it's like we could, so just from doing 2 more and belting it into the main series, we have a lot going for us on that end. And it upped it up to 11,000, which, you know, I think is probably, you know, the best we can do, because we can still only do 1,000 per belt that's running at maximum efficiency and all that fun stuff. So yeah, because if I just took 20 times 60, that's 1,200, and so I mean that's the max we can do, but I don't know, I only ever got it up to 1,000 delivered, which is weird because I'm pretty sure, you know, for this over here, we come and follow that, and yes, I mean there's no like gaps or anything in the production cycle, so I don't know why it's only 1,000 when technically we should be able to do 1,200. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm not super worried about it, honestly, but so yes, you know, 11,000, pretty good. So let's go ahead and just get rid of all of that and all of that. So if I want to maximize how I'm doing this, I do want to have this, like, having this level of production, very good. Very good for being able to, you know, make things better. And the best part about this is if I want to pull on even more, or if I just want to create the same setup somewhere else, I can either copy and paste this, or I've got plenty of squares nearby that'll let me do pretty much whatever I want to make that work. One other thing I would be curious about is maybe if we could stack the production even better, but it's like maybe I could have, you know, like this grouping go into one 4-lane balancer, and then going into this one as just one production or one input. And so yeah, it's all being balanced across only one belt, but it's taking 4 of those, infusing it into just one, and then this one is then being balanced, and so on and so forth. Because obviously it was like, we're not going to end up being able to get faster. But, you know, if we had to upgrade, you know, like if we have to make a choice where it's like, oh, we have to upgrade either this or this, because, you know, they all use the same shape, this would be 1.5 times faster, and then we would need more extractors to keep up with the belt in the first place. So speaking of that, it might actually be a better idea for me to upgrade our extraction first, because as long as those can stay faster, we don't have to keep adjusting our setup. We should be able to keep them in the same way in proportion to how the upgrades work, since they're now it's going to be, you know, 10 times faster than the base to 15 times faster than the base, and then so on and so forth. So I don't see how that could happen, but I'm good at being wrong sometimes, and really a lot of the time, so I at least accept that, and I can understand if my thinking is wrong. But let's go, and the next part is going to be figuring out what I actually want to do with these parts. Because, okay, so in order to do this shape right here, I need to have something that so I think the theory is that I need to have a shape that has the, so I need to make the left side first before I add this on, because I'm gonna need, I think, probably this and then something in a corner, or, you know, something else that I can at least overlap with. And then I need to cut off the side so this one will stay small, but this will stay with that. So I think if we did like white circle with whatever down here, and then I did just the bottom half of a square, I layered it on top, I could cut the right half off, and then we'd have the left half of our shape, and then just need to add this onto the other side. So I think that's an interesting place to kind of go with it. And I think it's going to take a lot more work to really get to where I want to be. But we'll go ahead and start this with our square corner start. So that way at least I know where this is, and that's kind of where we've been doing things, because, you know, we have our squares being produced over here, which actually, you know what, let's just go ahead and get rid of this for right now, because we are not going to be doing anything with that for the time being. So we'll get rid of you, and I think that is going to be where we start to wrap it up. Next episode, I'll probably start trying to see what I can do. I think I might want to at least just get a bunch of dye made, because obviously, you know, we've got this right here, but it's kind of going in a like I said, it's actually... No, maybe we should just get rid of all of this altogether once we finish with this final shape, and then we can refocus on building production down here, because obviously I would like everything to kind of start in similar places, like, you know, here, and just keep on going to the right, so that way we can keep things in a consistent direction, it's all kept together, and so on and so forth. And then we'll just see where things go from there. But with that said, I'm going to save, and we're going to go ahead and call the episode there. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, subscribe if you want to see when I release any future content, and comment if you have anything that you would like to share or say. And with that said, thank you very much for watching, have a great day, and I will see you next time.